Hi there, my name is Coulter Hahn. I'm an accessibility advisor with the Center for Student Accessibility here. I'm here today to talk to you about some of the services that our office has to offer and how to register with our office. So, we are guided by the Saskatchewan Human Rights Code and the legislation for the duty to accommodate. So, under that, we are here to help support individuals' diverse needs and to provide appropriate accommodations that will help offset some of those impacts and barriers that one might be facing in an academic setting. Ultimately, we're here to help withhold a student's confidentiality and to uphold the university's commitment to a diverse community. So we use a definition here for what is a disability from the Saskatchewan Human Rights Code. So disability, it covers a wide range of conditions that is an evolving concept. So some abilities are visible while others are not, and a disability may have been present since birth, it might have developed over time, or it might have been caused by an accident, meaning that it can be both permanent or temporary. So, self advocacy, accommodations, and technology will all come together to assist students in having an accessible education. So, throughout this presentation, I'll touch on all three of these points here. So, accommodations are support source services that allow a student with a disability or specific needs a fair opportunity to engage in academic activities and to fill essential course and program requirements. So it's good to know that they're meant to level that playing field for students. They're not meant to provide any advantage for students. They're not the same as modifications. You must still meet the learning outcomes for your program. And also, it's good to know that they're an acceptable solution and not always the perfect solution. So we'll go into some examples here. So here are some accommodations that a student might see in the classroom. We have a volunteer peer note-taking service where someone can volunteer to take notes and submit those to the professor, and then the professor can disseminate that to any student who has that accommodation. We have permission to audio record lectures. There might be assistive listening devices that a student could use. Uh, Perhaps you could get your textbook in electronic format so that you could use text to speech or speech to text software. And there's other advocacy accommodations such as medical absences or extensions on assignments. We also have exam based accommodations that we can offer. So you might see extra time for exams, or a quiet space to write, or the use of assistive technology, or even a reader or scribe for those exams. To register with our office, you must be a U of R student and provide medical documentation from a professional who is licensed to diagnose. So that might be your family doctor or psychologist or psychiatrist that you might be seeing, or an occupational therapist. It really just depends on the nature of your disability. You might have this documentation already or old documentation, so you could bring that into our office. Or if you have no documentation, typically the easiest way to get this done is to have our confidential diagnostic verification form filled out. So it's a big word, but it looks like this. It can be found on our website through www.uregina.ca/student/accessibility. So I'll post that link at the end of this video here. Essentially, this is a form that can be filled out from a licensed professional. It has an area for a functional assessment, so you can go through areas on how you might be impacted in an academic setting. It can open up that conversation to what level of impact you might be facing. And then we also need to see the nature of your disability, whether it's permanent or temporary status, which we'll base your accommodations off of. So this is the third page of the diagnostic verification form here. Your healthcare practitioner can decide what recommendations they think will be best suited to help offset some of the impacts of your disability. So, based on that functional assessment from the previous page, that it can be a really good indicator on what accommodations would be good to help support that. There's also room on the back page here to have additional comments on how we can accommodate for you as well. One thing to note is that if you are a student with a learning disability, we'll need to see a psychoeducational assessment that was done over the age of 18 or within the last 5 years. So that's typically only done by a registered psychologist. If you don't have a psych ed assessment done, but you suspect that you might have a learning disability, you can also contact our office and we can talk about different steps on how you might go about on doing that. And then once you have documentation, you will just need to contact our office to set up a meeting with an accessibility advisor, such as myself, and we'll review that documentation. And then what we'll do from there is create an accommodation plan that is going to best suit your academic needs. And then from there, you'll have an accommodation plan, and you can request your letters to be sent out to your instructors, and your instructors will be able to see your accommodation plan that we created for you. One thing to note is that your diagnostic information will be held confidential within our office, and all they'll see is what they need to do to accommodate for you. So each student, as part of that advocacy process, will just need to follow up with their instructor and discuss their accommodations as necessary. So that's basically all you need to do to register with our office. We do offer additional supports for students. There is this Canada Saskatchewan grant and the Access grant that a student with a permanent disability could apply for. So if you're interested on applying for extra supports such as assistive technology or tutoring supports, or just additional funding for your schooling, you might qualify for that. And you can also set up a meeting with an advisor to talk about these funding opportunities. And then we also have assistive technology that our office can loan out or do training on, or just chat about different ways on how we might be able to help support you with technology as well. There's tons of technology out there, whether it's free or you have to pay for, and we know lots about it. So if you want to just know about some free apps that are good for organization or text to speech or speech to text, we'd be happy to sit down with you and talk about that as well. Thank you for listening to me today. Again, my name is Coulter Hahn. I'm an accessibility advisor with the Center for Student Accessibility. If you'd like to contact us or have any questions, you can email us at accessibility@uregina.ca or check out our website at www.uregina.ca/student/accessibility. Thank you.